Okay. Hopefully I can try to talk about the past 2 weeks. In the first sort of episode, I talked about getting to the carpenter's boat shop. I moved here. I did a trip up from New York. I left New York. I went back home to Baltimore. I visited my girlfriend in Vermont. She's going on a trip with her family. And then I drove to New Hampshire for the night. Then I drove to Maine. I stayed at the Poland Spring Resort, the Motor Inn. Then I drove to the carpenter's boat shop, and then I started my trip. And a lot has happened. I just finished the orientation there. I finished the program. I finished what they asked. I don't know. There is a set orientation that I finished. And in it, you do these classic things that they set every year. You know, there isn't things that seem new. These are things that are fixed. This is like an apprenticeship that's been around for a minute. So I'm just doing the things that they've set out for me. One of them was making a toolbox, and to make this toolbox, you need pieces of wood to cut the pieces of wood. We're cutting softwood. We're using softwood because that's easier to work with. I think we're working with pine. And there's a couple things you need. You need to make sort of like end pieces that are like your own shape that you like. You have to make like a dowel, like a stick that you sort of use as your handle for the toolbox. You need to cut holes big enough to fit the stick, but also sort of hold the stick in place. You need a drill. You need to screw in holes to join together all the pieces. You need to measure it up. You need to line it up. You need to sand it down or whatever. And that was really fun. It was really stressful. I feel like this has been like that aspect of proving myself or trying my hardest, I feel like has been really stressful. But obviously they're really supportive. But I feel like there's sort of like an inner searching I'm trying to do of like, there's so many things in my life that I've just sort of like started that I like try to do for, there's so many like orientations that I've done. I mean, I've had like 7 jobs where all you do is you do orientation. And I mean, the longest job I've had is for 1 year and 6 months, So that's like, if an orientation is a month and you've had 5 jobs and you've done like little camps or whatever, I've done like probably like in aggregate like 1 year or 6 months of like just straight orientations. And I'm really lucky, blah, 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 blah. But we worked on this toolbox. I got to know the people in this cohort better. I feel like I haven't been able to try to just like figure out what's going on yet, like I remember my last job, my boss said the first year you're underwater, the second year you're sort of like figuring out, and the third year you can really do the job. And this is like, hopefully that's a truncated version. Hopefully in the first month I just don't know what I'm doing, and then maybe by month 4 or 5 I can really start to like have it down. But I'm worked on this toolbox. I sort of finished that. I worked on it. I didn't really finish it, but I sort of finished it. You know what I mean? And then I moved on. We moved on to working on this stool, which involves like, it's harder than I thought it was going to be easy. It was really fucking hard. You have to like have a joint for 2 different pieces of wood. That again, we're softwood, but like making wood connect is really fucking hard because the lines have to be clean. They have to be fucking perfect. and I couldn't really do it, but I don't know. It was fine. I'm working on it. They're really nice. I just don't want to bother them too much. I don't want to bother the instructors, you know, because some of this is like some kind of self-sufficiency, right? Like it's about learning self-sufficiency. It's about trying to like do like your own skills. You know what I mean? Like that's the whole point. But so like I feel like a lot of what I've been doing is just asking the instructors to help me, and then they've been helping me, and then I'm like, what do I do now? And then they help me, and then like they keep going. So I don't really want it to be like that, you know. But it's been a little bit like that. It's been a little bit like, you know, like asking for help like a 4-year-old. But I think like within this sort of like small negativity, I left New York City about a month ago. My girlfriend's still there. The friends I made from high school and from college and from after college, most of them are there. And now I'm here. There's a couple other apprentices, like 7 or 8. I kind of forget the total, but it's been really nice. I feel like because it's been so isolating, we've gotten close, all of us. I've gotten to know everyone. I feel like people have gotten to know my personality. I feel like people sort of understand why I'm here or what I'm trying to get out of it. I do feel a little, I do think I should give a little more context to where I am. I'm in Maine. I'm on a peninsula, and in the summer months, it gets very busy here because it's a very, Maine is vacation land. There's a lot of tourists that come here, but right now it's March and there's no one here. It's really quiet. Business, everything, like there is no businesses, and if there are, they close at like 7. And I feel, and there's also no drinking or smoking on the like little campus. You can drink off campus, and I've been going out with the apprentices on Friday nights and getting a couple of drinks, but that's like a couple drinks where like, not to be like I could drink and drive, but like, yeah, I could drink and drive because I'm not okay. I mean, sounds a little too authoritative, but I'm not like drunk. You know what I mean? Like I'm not like off my rocker. I'm just like having a drink or 2, and it's like light beer. It's not, you know what I mean? Probably the blood alcohol content's like 0.4. You know, I'm blowing 0.4. So it's not a lot, and I feel like that's been a big change for me because when I was in New York, and especially right before I moved, like I had quit my job at that point, I pretty much moved out. I was smoking a lot, like I was smoking a lot, and that's been a big change. Like I'm really happy that I haven't had to deal with that as much, but it's been a big change. Like I haven't really smoked since, I went to New York last weekend to see some of my friends, and it's a 6.5 hour drive from where I am, but I drove to New York. And that was really fun. It was really difficult. Like that's going to be sort of like a persistent concern of mine because I don't know how often I can do that, but people expect me to be there. Obviously my girlfriend, I want to see my girlfriend, but it's really hard to drive 6.5, I guess combined 13 hours on the weekend. And I know flying. Hopefully I can maybe fly. I'm a little concerned about TSA and what's going on there. But I live on a peninsula. It's not really like you don't drink or smoke on campus. Or, it's not really a campus, but it's a small sort of set of buildings. I've had to learn how to like change to that. I'm learning new skills, but it's slow, and I think like I don't feel different than I did 3 weeks ago. I know it's only 3 weeks, but I feel like I'm trying to be open and trying to learn new things and try to talk to people and not try to be inauthentic. I think I just want to know like what my capacity is for things and try to have like red lines that are flexible, but like once it is crossed, like, okay, I can't do this. But I don't really want to do that. Like, I don't want to be like, I can't do this or I can't do that. Like, I feel like everything is purposefully within reach. So I really want to try to like have things that I can do. I mean, all I'm doing is woodworking right now. And like, we're using like hand tools. We're using like chisels and planes. These are like really small tools for your hands that, they're just like cute and you can be gentle with them, but you sort of have to learn how to like control them and have some level of control. And don't let your mind wander. Like, I feel like I was saying this earlier that like woodworking feels like gambling a lot because sometimes you're telling yourself just like full send, just do this thing. And once you do it, it's such a mistake. You need to be patient and precise. And there's so many things you need to be that I feel like emotionally is very hard for me because I'm a very emotional person. I get really worked up really easily. And I feel like it's been sort of like a fun challenge, like a very fun challenge to try to like figure that out in terms of working with my hands every day. But I miss a lot of things. Like there's so many things I want to be good at, like I want to be good at things and I want to get paid to be good at things that I like doing. But I feel like everything I'm kind of good at it gives me so much anxiety and I'm not even that good at it, like I did this stand-up that people liked and I really enjoyed doing it, but it was so much work and it was so stressful and I don't want to like have that be my life. I don't know. I don't even think it could be, but even if it was, it would be really hard. I don't know. I still don't really know what my like day-to-day will be like. I feel like I still think it's going to end up in New York or something. But I don't know. I just want to like feel connected to something. And I feel like this has given me an opportunity that I'm really lucky to have because I'm connected to people who really are searching for that kind of thing that I'm talking about, like some kind of connection that isn't as frou-frou as I'm making it out to be. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to make it out to be like, these are all like sort of young people who are like all lived up, trying to like, eat farro and talk about Graham Plattner. I don't know. Like, it's not really like that. I think it is people just trying to like better themselves and learn new things and learn how things work. Like, I want to learn how things work. I really want to learn how things work because I don't know how anything works. I don't know how anything works. Like, all I know is all I know is like how people act sometimes and like how I can respond to them. Like, that's all I've kind of like learned through talking and shit. But I do feel like a little confused because I don't know. I've been really enjoying this so far. Like, this has been really enjoyable. But I'm a little like, it's it been enjoyable? I don't feel like I've worked hard enough for it to feel like that. Like, I have worked hard, but I feel like I want to work harder to make it feel more real. But I don't want to like make that artificial. Like, I don't want to do that just so I said I did that. I'm just looking for something that feels right. And I mean, I'm basically in the middle of a random ass peninsula in Maine building a boat, apparently. We're going to start that next week. We did the toolbox. I'm sort of finishing up this stool. Then we're going to work on the boat, the main boat, which is it's called a Mohican skiff. A skiff, someone asked me this. I'm pretty sure people have boats that are on the water, and to get to the boat on the water, you row out to that boat. Then you tie up the little skiff to the mooring, to the anchor in the water. Then you take out your main boat, then you come back, and then you use the boat you tied up to row in to the water. But then I don't really know where you put your skiffs. I think everyone just like leaves their skiffs by the water. And we're the only ones, the Carpenter's Boat Shop, are the only people who make a Mohican skiff. The person who founded this learned from someone on Mohican Island, like an old Norwegian man showed him how to build boats when he was in his 20s, and he was a priest. And he lived on this area, Muscongas Bay, like living on different islands with his wife. He was a priest. I think I said that already, but he was doing a bunch of odd jobs. He was like maritime stuff, teaching, shepherding, building. Like, I just think like part of what I wanted here was to be really immersed in an American culture. And I know that sounds like why American, but I do feel like I want to learn about where I live. And my grandfather and grandmother, like, were in the sailing industry. They sold dinghies, like these like little motorized boats. And they really liked it. And they really kind of liked this part of America. Like, people who had boats, who sailed on the water, who carved out like a little niche that wasn't like so like hoity-toity. I don't know. I feel like I'm trying to I'm just trying to do new things. But I don't know. Like, I do feel like one day it's just gonna click. It's gonna click when I feel like I'm in the right place. And this feels a lot closer to that, I think, than when I was in New York. Honestly, a lot of the time. Because I feel like I'm working with people I really respect. I'm doing something that makes me feel fulfilled. And I'm working for something that I really admire. But I don't... It's like my life. I don't know if I can... I can't woodwork. Like, I can't do this as a job. I can't get paid for it. I'm really bad at it right now. But I'm just trying to give some thoughts, some like very loose thoughts about how I've been. I don't know. There's so much, but I mean, I don't know if anyone's going to watch this because I don't think I'm going to send this to anyone, but maybe there are questions that people would have about my experience here, but I don't know what to tell them. Like, I don't know what to tell them about my feelings, because to be honest, this, like, I have felt so happy, but it's one type of happiness, you know? Everything is like 5D. Like, I feel a really specific type of happiness where I feel comfort. I feel really comfortable. And I am excited because I think once this boat building starts in earnest, like, I'm going to be more challenged. And that's a different kind of happiness. But I've been feeling a comfort type of happiness where I feel in control. I don't know. I mean, this is like a big reset of everything. And that feels just obviously, you know, ups and downs. Just because there's so much I'm excited to get away from in New York. Like, there's so much that I'm glad to not have to deal with. But I basically am not a self-sufficient person. So at this point, I'm like relying on everyone for everything. And I think that may continue for a really long time. Like, is my quest here to be self-sufficient? Kind of no. I don't think I'll ever be self-sufficient. I don't think I can be. I think my quest is to try to, like, be somewhat better at what I can be, and then kind of just have the wherewithal and maybe the, like, social skills to try to get what I need, but not in like a sly way, but just, you know, being a good hang. So then when I'm at the hang, I can get food or get help for something. I don't know. I don't know why I just, everything feels incomplete. I'm really happy I'm here. Like, this feels like I don't feel any regret. I wish this was like, this is such a very like temporal time. I'm going to feel really good to have done this once I have something else lined up or have my life figured out. But right now it is like, I don't have anything happening after this right now. So I'm like, just in this weird, like, I'm like floating in this space, and then the tidal wave is gonna crash once this is over, and I still don't know why. Like, I can't. I feel like I just don't. I thought in the right environment I would work really hard, but I don't know what is holding me back a little bit. Like, I just feel like I had a different version of myself where, like, I had a really good work ethic, and I'm a little scared I don't have a good work ethic. You know, I feel like I feel like I have something that's a little off when it comes to that. I don't know. I'm sort of rambling, obviously, but I'm trying to think about how I feel right now, how I feel about this sort of place I've been, how I feel about being in Maine, how I feel about going back to New York, how I feel about, you know, having like this, like, I really feel like one of those girls on Instagram. Like, I really am Maine and New York. You know what I mean? Which is like, dude, what does that even mean? That's like fake. you know? So, I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to overlay this with some photos. Not make it as complicated as the first episode, which was just so bullshit. I mean, not to say this isn't worse, but I don't know. At least this was like a more of an attempt to articulate how I feel over the past 2 weeks. I don't know if this is like useful, but it's how I'm feeling right now. If anyone was watching this, which they're not, because I'm not going to send this to anyone, but you guys should mail me, send me an email, visit me. I really like this place. It's really cool. I just want the strength to do something like this in my life. Like, I want the skills, I want the strength, I want to have the power within me to build something like this. Like, I love this. I think this is so cool. I hate having to like take so much from other people. You know? Like, I want to give something. And I feel like I do, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean. Okay, I'm going to close with the song that I learned here, which was really cute. Oh, the red sun rises on a world on fire, but it also rises on a holy choir, singing through the dark times, through the ash and smoke. Weave our grief into a song and sing our way back to hope. Weave our grief back into a song and sing our way back to hope.